Welcome everybody to another rousing round of Roseburg speakers and storytellers, wherever you are in the world. Welcome. We pride ourselves on two things. We like to have fun and we like to learn. And I'm sure today we will do a lot of both. Let me turn this meeting over to our current presiding officer for another 20 days, Yasmin.
Thank you so much, Tiger, for opening the meeting. And I am really excited. And I have to confess, I'm going to miss not being called as the presiding officer after 20 days from now. So let me make maximum use of the time I have. And yet again, I'm really, really, really very glad to invite you all. I see all of us know each other very well. There's no first time visiting guest here. Barbara, we also count you as very much the member of RSS, like part of RSS family. Julie, we always are very, very, very glad to see you. There's so much to learn from you, and we are very happy every time you join us. Lauren, it looks like we are gonna not have any meeting without you. You are more than welcome. I am not gonna be introducing you as guest for many more weeks, I guess. And I hope you'll give us chance very soon to introduce you as part of RSS. Having said that, I have to give the floor to Toastmaster of the day today, who is creative and the best thing is that she doesn't prefer to talk a lot. She's most of the time silent. And yes, not to forget, she has got beautiful smile. And it's just that she comes to RSS more because everyone appreciates her smile. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you guessed it well. The Toastmaster of the day today, Yasmin Telwala. So hand it over to Yasmin. Okay, I'm here. And I have to tell you all that I'm very excited with the theme that we are going to have today. To be very honest, I have picked up the idea from our wonderful meeting last week. The theme for our meeting last week was wedding memories. And that was a wonderful theme led by Mary as the Toastmaster of the day, where we got to know so many different rituals, things around the world with weddings, and also got to see beautiful pictures of all of you where you were either part of a wedding or your wedding itself. And I picked up that idea to think of another very important day in our life or in the life of our loved ones. That's the birthday. And I'm sure we all have fond memories to share about birthdays. And please, please pull up a birthday picture, either your birthday or a birthday of a family member, which you would like to share with us if you haven't already done. So as I invite you, please share a little bit about any fond birthday fond memory that you have had. I have also challenged myself to pick up a couple of interesting facts related to birthdays. And let me start with the birthday song. Happy birthday to you. Do you guys know who composed this song or from where the song comes? Anyone amongst you? Okay, I see none. Actually, this song is composed by two American sisters, Patty Hill and Mildred Hill, in 1893. So not that long, not that. It's not like I thought something which is coming from Roman or Greek era. No, it's relatively new. The song was initially created as a simple classroom greeting, like good morning to all, but later it was adapted with the lyrics, and now we associate it with birthdays almost all over. Okay, this was a very simple fact from me for today. And now let's get going with the meeting. As in any Toastmaster meeting, we're going to be having 3 sessions today: the prepared speech, the table topics, and the evaluation and feedback session towards the end. I see all of you have already named yourself with your roles, so that's really welcome. In case you haven't, I don't see anyone has missed it, so that's all good. Now, for us, let's invite the timer on the screen to let us know what and how she'll be helping us with keeping our time. But before I give it to Lauren to explain your role, please don't forget to share a memory, a birthday memory that you have. Lauren, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster. This is a photo of my aunt and myself. We went skydiving on my 21st birthday, her 61st birthday. We have the same birthday, so we celebrate it usually every year together. And she's always 40 years apart, so I always know her age, so she can't pretend she's younger. The timer role is to time the speaker, and the speaker gets 4 to 6 minutes. So at 4 minutes, I'll show green, 4 minutes 30, or no, 5 minutes 30 seconds yellow, and 6 minutes red. The same for table topics, except it's 1 to 2 minutes. And I also time the evaluator. I'm not sure how much time I give them.
It's 2 to 3 minutes.
2 to 3
So
minutes. Okay.
2 minutes is your green, 2 minutes, 30 seconds is your yellow, and 3 minutes is the red, and 30 seconds buffer. That stands.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So that's completes my explanation. Thanks.
Thank you, Lauren. And yes, indeed, it's so nice to know someone who share the same birthday. I can tell you, it's one of the wonderful things to know. And I'm glad that it's someone in your family. In my case, I do share my birthday with a person who is like within the same street. So a childhood friend, we studied together, and we are not twins. So by default, twins get the luxury of sharing the same birthday. We are not twins, but it is so wonderful to know someone. And he is born just like maybe 30 minutes. We are born 30 minutes apart. So there's a special bonding when we share as we grow up. Thank you, Lauren. I would like to now invite our grammarian for today, that's Ravi, to please give the grammarian role as well as the word of the day. But before Ravi, you know you have to share something related to a birthday memory.
Sure. I think I'll have to switch off my virtual background for that. So I have a picture of a cake that was made for my wife's birthday. So what I did was I got in touch with a vegan cake maker who makes vegan cakes who bakes vegan cakes among other things. And she asked me for a lot of personal details about my wife. So you can see there's a drawing or sorts, I mean, something with fondant that actually resembles my wife. There's some flowers in there because my wife has a green thumb. She loves to garden, put around in the garden. And there's quite a few other things that you can't see. She loves reading books, and she likes to keep, she likes to code. She's a coder, so there's a laptop in there somewhere which has lines of code on it. So there's a lot of detailing that went into the birthday cake, and that was something that I really enjoyed. And she also paints, so there's a There's easel or something like that out there as well. So that was a very interesting cake that was made for my wife by this lady, the baker, is what I would say. So yeah, that's the top of the. It looks very busy, I think, maybe now, and but then I think it was a big surprise for my wife, so I think she enjoyed it, and that's what matters. And I got to eat most of the cake because it was a vegan cake, and she said, I'm not a big fan of sweet stuff, so you can have as much of it as you want. All right, I think I've taken up enough time here now. As the grammarian of the day, I'll be keeping track of good usages and not so good usages of grammar. And when called upon by Mary, our general evaluator, I'll come back and I'll present my report. The need for good grammar is because we would want to be able to communicate clearly our ideas and our thoughts to somebody we're conversing with. And that's something that we always keep in mind as part of Toastmasters, especially for people like me, for whom English is not the first language. It is always a good idea to make sure that you use the right grammar while at the same time not being a grammar Nazi about it. And that's about it. So the word of the day today is festive. I picked a simple word which is sort of in line with our theme for today, which is birthday memories. And the word means having the atmosphere or attitude of a festival or a holiday or a celebration. And I think today we have a festive mood in our meeting because we are talking about birthday celebrations, very similar to the festive mood that we had in our last meeting when Mary was the Toastmaster of the day and we spoke about weddings. That's the usage of the word. That's it from me. I'll be back when called upon to present my report. Thank you very much. Back to you, Yasmin.
Thank you so much, Ravi. Thank you for two things. Yes, for reminding us that birthday cakes could actually be so artistic. It's real skill and it's always special, isn't it? Isn't it most of the time we even try to attach emotions to those cakes, as Ravi did in this case, by making it so peculiar and specific to her wife. And sometimes we also prepare the cakes by our own, to the person who we are really fond of, because we want to invest our time and really show how much we care for. And second, Ravi, for actually letting us give a very wonderful word, and festive, because I don't think anyone can relate a sad energy. I'm mindful of my word. I don't know. I don't want to call it negative energy, but a low energy with birthday. By default, birthday brings excitement, even if the word itself has a notion of some positivity to it. So thank you, Ravi, for that and bringing in some festivity. One fact before I call the next role player. Actually, the candles to the cakes. So in ancient times, the Greeks were the first who offered the round-shaped cakes to Artemis, and she's the goddess of the moon, as a form of tribute. And they were the first one to lit candles on the cake to make it shine like moon. And that's how this got transit to put on candles on moon. I'm now very excited to invite our counter, Jerry, to share his birthday memory as well as explain his role. Jerry?
Thank you, Yasmin. You can see? You can see me?
The virtual background is obstructing the picture. We see it blur. No, we see it blur.
Okay.
Are you using a virtual background? Yeah, now we see it. Yes.
You can see. Actually, this is my son, 15 years old birthday. And the youngest kid is my nephew. Okay, it's not my son. And it's so funny. Every year we will celebrate their birthday, our kid's birthday, and the cake will made by my wife So we will not buy from outside. Outside, we will make by ourselves to celebrate for them. You know, you will feel very, very.
Is it just me who lost Jerry's audio, or you also have trouble listening to him?
You cannot hear me?
We can hear him. We
I
can hear
can
him.
hear you.
Okay, okay.
So maybe it's Yasmin, your problem. Okay, so I just want to express the feeling is so happy because when you saw the smile on the face of the kids, they enjoyed the moment. They hope we can accompany them to celebrate their days. The days was very festival, I think so. Yeah, okay. Let me introduce the R counter. As a R counter, my responsibility is to load the overused words and the filler sound as crunch while somebody during the meeting, the overused words include but, you know, and, so. The filler sounds include r, n, like something like this. This is filler words are useless during the speaking. We need to avoid. So I will observe and make a note. After that, I will deliver a report. How many filler words each person used during the meeting. Thank you. Back to Yasmin.
Thank you so much, Jerry. And yes, I agree with you so much that some birthday years are so specific, like 15 years, 16 years, 60 years, and 100 years. And I actually have a fun fact to share. In UK, let me just pull up that very quickly. Yes, in UK, when a person reaches 100, they receive a personalized card from the Queen, marking their incredible milestone. And in fact, the oldest person to have received it was Jeanne Calment from France, who lived for 122 years and 164 days. So we all have milestones to go. Thank you. And let's get going. I would now like to turn the meeting to the prepared speech session. And we have one speaker, Sarah, Toastmaster Sarah. She is going to be delivering from Dynamic Leadership Pathways. And Sarah, it's going to be your icebreaker speech, isn't it? Okay, so timer, I believe you have noted the timing. It's an icebreaker speech, 4 to 6 minutes, 4 minutes green, 5 minutes yellow, and 6 minutes red. My other love. This is going to be the speech title for Sarah's speech. And she is going to be evaluated by Barbara. So Barbara is here in the room with Mary. But Barbara, may I get a green signal that you are online and can hear us very well? Okay, super. Thank you. With that, I would like to invite Sarah, but timer, please note, before she speaks and starts her speech formally for the timing, I would like to know a little bit from her about her birthday memories. So Sarah, please share your birthday memories and then you can indicate the timer and please start the speech.
Thank you, Yasmin. Well, in Mexico, we have an odd tradition, which is to bite the cake when you have a birthday. But in the moment you bite it, then you get pushed through it by your friends. And one memory I have is that when I turned 15, I had a huge cake. I just wanted to bite a little bit, but I got so pushed that at some point parts of the cake were introduced in my nose and it was not funny anymore. But the photos look like funny. Thank you. With this, I will start my speech. I don't remember exactly how it started, but I know that when it started, it went continuously growing until today. Fellow Toastmasters, I'm talking here about one love, my other love. Yes, my love for books. And when I tell you that I don't know exactly how it started, I mean it really. Because when I was a little child, I remember my father had a huge personal library with books about biology, medicine, being himself a medical doctor, but he also had a huge collection about literature classics. But I didn't really like to read those books. They were not interesting. They were so thick and so full of words, no pictures on them. So I really didn't feel that passion for reading. But maybe that was the reason why I started to flip through some books about arts or history or geography, because on those books, I discovered the paintings from Van Gogh or some pictures of archaeological places or some other maps or of hidden countries and places. At that time, being a little child, I made kind of a mental list of all those places and objects I wanted to see during my entire life. But to be honest, at this point, I really don't know what's greater. My love for actually reading books or my love for buying them. And this is because the experience of going into a bookshop, it's so festive and so good. Drink some coffee and have conversations maybe with the book person there. It doesn't matter if they are new books or secondhand books. I actually don't care about buy them because I always think they will find a home, no matter if it's at my home or someone else's home. But if you're asking yourself, which kind of books do I enjoy? I will give you a small introduction of my big collection. First of all, I really like to read books about history or about the city or the country where I'm living. This is one example, Germany. A book about history, about some interesting facts. It also recommends some other books. And it's a good way to get to know the country if you're new. I also recently acquired this other book about Berlin with some hidden places where I can take my visits, and now I'm well informed about the city. I also like to do some marks and write on them with a pencil. I like to treat books well, but sometimes I also like to write on them a little bit. Some other books that I enjoy are those management books or bestsellers that have something to teach me. For example, this one, The Culture Map, that gave me some ideas of how to navigate with different cultures or different cultural backgrounds. It's very interesting for communication. Another one by the same author is this one, No Rules Rules, about the corporate culture of Netflix. It also gives some good insights about feedback. So very, very interesting, actually. Another kind of books that I like to read is literature books. But those ones, I read them in Spanish, just because literature lies very near to my heart. And sometimes this metaphorical language is very difficult to understand in another language. So I like to read, for example, Kafka in Spanish, or I recently acquired Virginia Woolf, also in Spanish. I also like Maya Angelou, for example, the American poet. She's very good. And even though I have tried to read in German, I'm always having some struggles. So for the moment, I'm getting some journals or some magazines that I really like, but with smaller articles that help me to learn some vocabulary in German. Yeah, this is only part of the collection of books. And something that I have never tried, but I'm open to do it, is poetry or mystery thrillers. So maybe if you have some recommendations, you can give them to me. And my motivation to keep reading is to get some ideas, to get some conversation themes, also some inspiration for my speeches or for my life. And maybe this will also be a motivation for you to start reading or to continue reading. I don't have some secret specific for you to start or to doing it. Just try many genders and find the kind of books that you enjoy. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Oh my God, Sarah, it doesn't feel like that the speech should end. I'm still geared up for going and getting to know many more books that you have. What an amazing collection. And I must say I haven't read any of those. Brilliant, Sarah. Let's get moving and with the table topic as the next session. I do see that our table topic master is here, but I just want to check if he is, if he's ready. Yeah, Tiger, is it all good with you? Are you ready?
I'm good.
Okay, Tiger, before I give the floor to you, would you also please share something related to birthdays? He's gonna pick up a birthday cake, looks like. Aha!
You guys see that?
Yes, we can see it. Please tell us what that is.
Those are my sons, and this is it's either their 7th or their 8th birthday. And we took them. There's a place at the Oregon coast called the Oregon Coast Aquarium. Very, very cool place. It has a tank where you walk under the water and they have sharks and octopus and all like 100 different types of fish. Very, very cool. Anyway, every time we took them there, we take them there every summer, they would get one of these. What the heck do you call those? Those little stuffed animals. They get a little stuffed animal. Between the two of them, by the time they were 10 years old, they had like 100 stuffed animals. Their whole room was just, their shelves were just covered with these things. I have no idea what happened to all that. They're 21 years old now and in college. I don't know what happened to all the stuffed animals. I'm assuming they're probably in the basement somewhere. Okay. That was my favorite birthday. I loved going to the Oregon Coast Aquarium. And kids, let's face it, I mean, birthdays are for kids. Right, Julie? Julie's been 39 now, 39 times. That's what we should all strive for. She's smiling, but she's not laughing. Okay, here we go. Well, I'm picking on Julie. Let's have Julie start our table topics. Julie, tell us about your favorite birthday.
My favorite birthday. Can I share content? A picture?
Yeah, that'd be great.
My grandson, 6-year-old birthday picture. And I would add, but I think it is enough for a table topics. I was also very happy to celebrate when I was 80. It is perhaps old, but for me, it's very young. Because next year I will be 90. So it has been long time ago. Celebrating birthday is wonderful. Giving birth for a woman is not so much. So I remembered my son and my daughter, and no, I would not change it with you, because it will be not such a happy birthday. It took too long or too short. It is not so easy to be a woman giving birth. But anyway, happy birthday to you, all of you.
Thank you, Julie. 90 and still going strong. I love it. That's inspirational. So I made a mistake in my math. Actually, you have celebrated being 39 50 times. How about that? All right, let's move on to Jerry. And Yasmin's going to be the odd counter for Jerry. Just having fun with you, bud. All right, Jerry, what is the worst birthday you ever had? Could be your birthday or someone else's birthday party, but the absolute worst birthday experience that you've ever experienced.
What is my worst birthday? My memory, all the birthday were very, very festival, very happy. But because over 40 years, still have maybe 1 or 2 years, I felt so upset. That's when I was in high school. When I was in high school, my birthday happened in summer holidays. I never could celebrate with my classmates. I still remember the first year of my high school. I celebrated many birthdays for my classmates. I enjoyed. But for me, when it came to my birthday, we all went home. Nobody was around me to celebrate with me. No, no this kind of classmates, no girls, no good friends. Maybe only my parents. It made me think, why my birthday is in holidays? Why I can't be like the other classmates? When we are studying, we celebrate our birthday. This is my experience, but I think very short thought about my worst birthday. 99% of every festival. Back to Tiger.
Thank you, Jerry. There's always a quandary for teachers if you celebrate kids' birthdays during the year. What do you do with the summer kids? Last day of school, you have a party for all of them. That's the simple solution. So, Jerry, when's your birthday? What day?
It's in China we celebrate lunar New Year. Lunar year it's not the calendar year. It's different.
Okay.
But generally speaking, it will be happened in July.
Your birthday's in July.
Yes.
Well, it's coming up, so let us know. We'll celebrate with you here.
Okay.
Ravi will make you. No, Sarah will bring you a cake. Just be careful because she might stuff your face in it. All right, Lauren. Lauren, I want you to tell us about your 21st birthday. Tell us the story, the whole story. We want to hear the rest of the story.
My 21st birthday, we went to, thank you, Ravi. We went to Colorado, specifically Aurora, which is a suburb in Colorado. And that's where my extended family lives. And my aunt, Kristen, and I, we decided to go skydiving. And so it was actually kind of windy but we didn't think anything of it, and the instructors didn't say anything bad about it. So we got on the little plane. There was only two rows of seats, and we flew. I forgot how high, but I remember standing right at the very edge of the door to where we were going to jump and thinking, this is really high. I don't want to do this at all. I don't want to do this. And then luckily I had an instructor with me. He was attached to me. So we just jumped. And because it was so windy, it was really shaky and abrupt, and I got kind of nauseous, and so did the instructor. But once he pulled the parachute, it was nice to slowly glide down, and we glided down onto the field. That was the fun part, the falling free fall with like the wind pushing against your face and you're like feeling all the pressure. That was kind of fun, but the parachute part, that was fun. Yeah, so that was a cool 21st birthday.
Thank you very much. That was fun. I'm thinking if your instructor got nauseous, I'm afraid he's gonna pass out and then you're on your own. Just make sure you land on him, right? Or her. All right, Robbie, I got Robbie to laugh for the first time today. So you're next. So Robbie, tell us about Indian birthdays, the tradition that you experience. I know there's a lot of cultures in India, so let's just stick with Robbie. What was your tradition growing up for your birthday?
You've got me thinking there, Tiger. I don't know if there's any tradition as such that was different from what you would see on in most cultures. I mean, there was always some kind of food, be it cake, be it Indian delicacies, or be it junk food, that was always there. There were a lot of friends around you to help you celebrate your birthday. Parents fussing about you when you're a child with brand new clothes. And what else? I'm trying to figure out if there's something that sets apart a birthday in, well, yes, I think most cultures do it. As a child, I think we would also go to a temple. I mean, I'm a Hindu by religion, by birth. So my parents would take me to the temple and pray to the Lord, and then come back home and feast on the food that is given out at the temple, I guess. I seem to be at a loss for words today. So Tiger has put me on the spot. I was busy laughing at what he was commenting about Lauren's speech, and then now I'm at a loss for words. But yeah, I don't think there's anything different that I can recall of my birthday, but maybe you can put our Toastmaster of the day on the spot and ask her what happened during her birthday celebrations. Back to you, Tiger.
I'm glad we have this on tape. Ravi admitted that he's at a loss for words. This is the first time I've ever heard him say that or experienced that. Now we have, he's busted. We got him on tape saying he has a loss for words. I love it. Here's what I'd like everyone to do real quick. I'm assuming that, okay, show of hands. I hate the show of hands thing in Toastmasters, but show of hands. How many of you guys have cake for your birthday? It's traditional. No, Jerry, you don't get cake for your birthday? Okay, so in the chat, put what kind of cake. What's your favorite kind of cake? What's your birthday cake? Mine, you're gonna love this, Sarah. German chocolate cake with lots and lots and lots of frosting. I always had my mom make a double batch of frosting so I could just eat the frosting. Great stuff. So cake, put your cakes in the, let's see what we got going on here. Red velvet, okay. Anything vegan. The guy's at a loss for words now. He's telling us he's gonna eat vegan cake. Is that cake with no eggs? Can't have any eggs, I guess. Okay, so what do we got here? We got vegan, German chocolate, red velvet. Matcha cake. Okay, Jerry, gonna have to explain that real quick. 23 seconds, you have to explain what matcha cake is. Please.
You mean matcha cake? You don't know?
Yeah, no, I don't know what. I'm sure other people probably do, but I have no idea what that is.
It's I think it's in Chinese. We like the tea. It's a taste like a tea. I like this kind of taste.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds different, definitely. That's the best part about birthday parties. That's the only reason I ever went to birthday parties as a kid. Even if I didn't like the kid, I'd go and get the cake and ice cream. Okay, here we go. Mary Pearson, are you there?
I am.
Good. You look beautiful today.
Thank you.
All right, Mary.
I'm doing that visual, yeah, in your imagination.
Hey, Mary, I want you to share with us. I'm going to give you the same question Ravi got. Hopefully you do better with it than he did. We want to know, what was your tradition growing up? What were your birthday parties like?
What? Thank you, Table Topic Master. What were my family traditions to for celebrating birthdays? Well, I'm one of 6 children. And so when you have so many kids, you tend to group them together, birthdays. So 2 of my brothers are 5 days apart. They're just a year, but by 5 days. So the 2 of them always had to celebrate their birthdays together. And then there are 2 that were both born in September, so they had to celebrate theirs together. The 6th child didn't come until 10 years after me. He was Thanksgiving Day, so he had to share his birthday with the holiday of Thanksgiving. So that left me in the month of August all by myself. I got to have my own special birthday party. So it was always a really big deal for me. Now you said that it's sad, I guess, kids that have birthdays in the summer, that it's a shame they don't get to celebrate at school. I felt just the opposite. I said, oh, I would hate to have to go to school on my birthday. And so I was so excited to always have my birthday in the summer when everyone's off. As a parent, I said, I will only have children that will be born in the summer. Wasn't that good planning on my part? I had to have a summer baby. But as a parent, I found out that it's hard to get a birthday party together when everybody's on summer vacation. So there is a downside to having Sunday birthdays. But it was a very big deal to have a party with all your neighborhood friends coming over. And yes, we had the cake and punch and ice cream, and you got presents, and everyone sat around and got to see you open each present. And like, oh, I wish I had that. And so it was just so much fun to get all the presents. You couldn't wait to do that. So that was the exciting traditions for me as a child growing up in a large family, that I was the only one in my family that got the birthday all to themselves and the special birthday party all for me. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
What can I say, Mary? It's all about you. It's all about you. Now that right there.
Yeah, it was really festive too. I forgot to.
Yes,
Barb was yelling in my ear and I didn't hear it.
Yes, your experience was my experience. The kids over, ice cream, cake, the whole 9 yards. My mom was really into festive birthday parties. Okay, how about Barbara?
Yes.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi.
Share with us your childhood birthday experiences. What were your childhood birthday experiences like?
Well, one that comes to my mind right now is when you had talked about pictures. I remember a picture that I have at home of a birthday party that we had in my downstairs basement before it was finished. And we had all of my relatives around me. I was probably maybe 6 or 7 at the time. But that was my extended family. We did everything together. And we sang happy birthday, there were balloons, there was blowing out candles. It was a lot of fun. It was nice being the center of attention of all of my cousins and being able to do that. I remember on this one particular birthday, one of the nice things that I got was a hobby horse. I wanted to have a horse to ride on. So, of course, not living in the area to have a real horse, my parents got me a hobby horse. And that tradition actually carried through, because when my children were young, I got them a hobby horse too. And they never did know the reason behind why they got the hobby horse for a birthday present. But it was because that was one of my memories as a child that I always kept special, and I wanted to keep it going with them. So that's my childhood memory.
Thank you so much. Let's face it, it would be nice just to be 7 years old, but your whole life. Be 7 years old, no responsibilities, have great birthday parties, play, go swimming, play with your kids. How about that? That would be fun. Be 7 for, I don't know, 80, 90 years. And then you can retire and go hang out. Who's left? Oh, I know who's left. Yasmin. Robbie had a request. He wants to know what your traditional birthdays were like, Yasmin. And we're all hoping that you do better than he did.
Sorry, I missed your last sentence.
I was giving Ravi a hard time. I said, we all hope that you do better than he did.
Oh, I see. I seriously doubt that. I seriously doubt that. And actually, Ravi made me wonder, why is it that we do not have anything specific special to say in India, given that everything in India is so tied to customs and cultures. And this makes me wonder how universal birthdays have become, the birthday cakes and the birthday parties and the balloons. So how it has sort of become a common way of celebration to say. Having said that, there is something that I do think is specific to birthdays in India. One is worship, definitely. We, on our birthday, are made to pray to the Lord. If it's a Hindu, might go to temple. I come from a Muslim family, but I do remember that I had special prayers my mom would do in the morning, sort of prayers for me, for my long life, for my good health, and for me to be wise. So the worshiping God stands special in the Monday on the birthday morning. And the second thing is coconut. In India, coconut is considered quite auspicious, and at least, Ravi, you can let me know if this is the case, but we would have coconut, breaking the coconut. Like in my tradition, my mother would even turn around coconut so that the coconut would take all the troubles off me, and then she would break the coconut on the door, meaning all my evils were taken out of me. So this is something they do. And the third is philanthropy. So during most of the birthdays, it's common in India to invite poor children in home and serve them food, or to give alms to those who might need it, to orphanage. So most of the time, beside birthday parties, philanthropy is something that Indian families commonly associate with birthdays. So that's a bit to share from my side, and I would not miss the chance to share a picture from one of the birthday, which is special to me. This is my mom and my two nephews, and this is the first birthday of the younger one. And he is least excited about his birthday, and everyone else was super excited about his first birthday, because thankfully it was after COVID, so it was allowed to invite people. I know my time is over, and I'll reserve my later TMOD session. I give it back to you. Anyway, I'm overtimed.
Thank you, Yasmin. And Yasmin gave me a great idea. Philanthropy. My birthday is coming up in a couple weeks, so all of you are more than welcome to send me gifts, money, whatever you would like, because I need things. I'm poor. What can I say? I'm in desperate need of love, attention, money, cake, German chocolate cake, by the way, in the frosting. Sarah, what's in the frosting of a German chocolate cake? What's one of the main ingredients? I'll give you a hint. Yasmin just talked about it. No? Ravi, what's in there?
Coconut.
Coconut. Yeah, it's chocolate with coconut. I mean, we're talking food of the gods. Thank you, everybody, for participating. It's awesome when we can have everyone in a meeting do table topics. So at this time, I will give it back to the Toastmaster of the day. That was festive. Yes.
Indeed, it was festive, Tiger. Thank you so much for the wonderful session. I got to learn so many stories from all of us. I would like to ask something to all of you. Besides the pictures that you might have had seen of your first birthday celebration, do anyone remember? Do you have the memories of your first birthday? And if I'm going to ask your parents or your family, I'm sure for them, the most precious one would be your first birthday. So isn't this so ironical? Our first birthday is celebrated with so much fun, joy, and is basically one of the grandest birthday. But unfortunately, we hardly remember anything about that. So it's more for the parents than the individual themselves. And as we grow up, like Jerry, we want our birthday to be celebrated and not to fall on the weekdays. The other very interesting thing is the associated personality traits with the months we are born with. Let's do a quick check. What do you think the guys born in August, like Mary, have as their personality trait? Do anyone know? Uh-huh. Okay.
Personality trait is gregarious, friendly.
Well, okay. Do you know the one of your month, the months you were born? With which personality? Let me quickly check. Maybe Jerry knows. Jerry, which month were you born? Do you remember the personality trait with that month?
But I think it's very easygoing.
Ah, easygoing. I see. Sarah, which month are you?
I'm not sure.
Okay, cool. But as you know that astrologically they put some signs based on the months that you have. And trust me, I just love reading all of them. And if you haven't done that, like the book Sarah have, please also read the months and the astrology traits they have. And for sure, they will advise you one gemstone for one particular month in which you are born. So go and read these books with some money in your pocket. Having said that, let's get into the evaluation session. And I'm going to invite Mary. Mary, please take over.
Okay, thank you, Yasmin. And I'm driving, but I'll be getting to a parking lot in just about 30 seconds. So I'm just going to talk for just a second about my job as a general evaluator until I park. My job as a general evaluator is to lead the evaluation team, and I will ask for each of their reports after the speech evaluation. And then I will give my general evaluation of how the meeting went, things that went well and things that we can improve on. So that's my job as general evaluator. And yeah, and this is where we pull in. Sorry, guys. Oh, we still have a long way. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm going to pull over. I'm just going to pull over so that we can, because Barbara's got to do an evaluation. So I'm going to do that. So as we pull into a parking lot, I will ask Barbara to do her evaluation of Sarah's icebreaker speech. Barbara, let me turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator.
And we can have turn the camera on too, I think, for that. Turn left onto Woodland Street. Turn it for a second. Sorry, guys. We thought we'd be here already before the meeting started.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. Today, I've had the opportunity to evaluate Sarah's icebreaker speech. And an icebreaker is exactly that, allowing the audience to get to know the speaker, whether it be a new Toastmaster or a seasoned Toastmaster. There's so much to learn about what the person enjoys, the things that we see and the things we don't see. And so today, Sarah was able to give us the inside story of her other love. Something that's so special to her, something that built who she was and actually helped create her bucket list. And that's through her love of books. She drew us in by telling us the type of books that she enjoyed. She showed us the books. She shared with us some of the reasons why when she was a child and she went into her father's books, some of those books just weren't that interesting. I can relate. Who wants to read one of those thick books or the ones with all the words? As a kid, we want pictures. We want to dream. We want to know where we can go and what we can be. And she shared with us how books formed that for her. She told us about her love for books about history, to learn about people and their cultures. And for the books that she really loved, how she opted to read them in her native language. Because although she challenged herself to read them in English, her enjoyment, her love, her dreams came out when she was reading and thinking and speaking all the same. She shared a lot with us and took us back to why we should probably start reading as well too. As an evaluator, it's my job also to find some little places where I can offer suggestions, give little tidbits, food for thought of if she were to give this speech again, what she might consider to do a little bit differently, to think outside of her box and maybe come a little bit into mine. So what I would suggest at this point is just inviting us with a tidbit from those books. What was it about that German book that brought you in? What was one of the places that one of the books told you about that you actually decided to go and see? You were so eager. The books about navigating culture and talking about today's technology. What aha moments did the book build for you that you are now living your life through? It'd be great to share those things. Also, when you're talking about the talking to the person in the bookstore, just to give you a little bit more vocabulary on it, I looked it up, and that name would be a book specialist. So rather than talking to the book person, refer to them as a book specialist, because then not only are you sharing your interests, but they're sharing their values, they're sharing their expertise with you. I like how you ended, and I would suggest give it a strong charge. Maybe even give us one of your favorite books and say, this is my favorite book. Why don't you read it and see what you think? But you did a wonderful job. I got to know a little bit more about you, and on a tidbit, I am looking forward to talking to you in person when I see you in Nassau. We will have a festive time. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Okay, thank you. Excellent evaluation, Barbara. And yeah, we're very excited. Sarah is going to join us at the International Toastmaster Convention in Nassau. And so we're going to room together for a few days. That'll be a blast. So that's great that Barbara got a chance to meet Sarah virtually beforehand. That concludes the prepared speech evaluation. Now I'd like to call upon the other people in my evaluation team. I'll start with the counter. Jerry, could you give us your counter report? And don't forget, the word of the day is festive.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, General Evaluator. Yeah, I would like to deliver my counter report. Overall, today, everyone did a great job, especially for the R, N, we don't have this kind of filler sound, because I think today we are 8 people, we are seasoned Toastmasters. So I'm very happy to see this. But I want to point out we have a common problem is that we mentioned, we say many times, and. So, for example, Yasmi said about 5 times and, 3 times so. Ravi, 3 times and. Sarah, 1 time and, 2 times so. Tiger did a great job. Know this kind of filler sound and overuse words. Julie did a great job. Noreen like to say and very much, say many times. And Mary like to say and 2 times, so 3 times. Bobby and 2 times, well 1 time. That's all. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Excellent report. I'd like to share a picture. Barbara forgot to send the picture of her mother's special 90th birthday party. Oh, can y'all not see it? No? Let's see. Oh, let's see. Maybe we can here do it this way. Are y'all? Oh, you know what? Because it's dark there. Is it working? Can you all see that? Hey, I think I see it. Yeah.
Yes, we
That's
can
her.
see it now. Yeah.
Yes, that's her mom's 90th birthday. She just celebrated in May. So that was a special birthday. Yeah. I next like to call upon our grammarian and word of the day. Ravi, could you give us your report?
Thank you, Mary. For the grammarian's report, let me start with the word of the day. The word of the day was festive, and it was used by 6 of us, or maybe 7 of us. I don't think I counted myself, and I don't think I used it, so it's only 6 of us. Okay. So Yasmin used it a couple of times. Jerry used it twice. Tiger used it twice. Sarah, Mary, and Barbara, all of them used it once each. That was the usage of the word. Now, coming to not so good usages of grammar, I don't think I found anything at all. I think I was just completely mesmerized by everybody who was speaking that I did not note anything. That could be one reason, or it could just be following what Jerry said. We have all been Toastmasters for a while, so I don't think there's much for us to improve on terms of grammar. And unlike Tiger, I don't think anyone's paid me yet. So whenever you get a chance. All right. Some very good uses of grammar, or some very good uses overall that I really liked. Not that these are expressions you've never heard before, but I just liked that they were used. This was, I'd like to commend Barbara when she used think outside her box in terms of talking about books that Sarah likes and what Barbara would like to recommend to her. So that was a very nice usage of the expression. What aha moment did Sarah have is also something that Barbara called out and said that what was the aha moment that brought her to read a particular book. So that was also a very good usage. And finally, the other one was tidbit. So share some tidbits about what you liked about those books. So these were the good usages that I made sure I jotted down. Doesn't mean that others did not use them. As I said, I was just lost. And then I finally realized, oh, I'm a grammarian. I need to jot things down. So that was my report for today. Back to you, Mary.
Ravi, I share your difficulty in doing grammarian. I hate being grammarian, particularly for this club, because they are so good and you get so caught up in the whole meeting. You forget, oh yeah, that's my job. Now I'd like to call upon our timer to get the timing report.
Yeah, so
Lauren, yes, give us your timer report.
the speaker, Sarah, was 6 minutes, 26 seconds. For table topics, Julie was 2 minutes. Jerry, 2 minutes, 14 seconds. Ravi, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Mary, 2 minutes, 27 seconds. Barbara, 1 minute, 22 seconds. Yasmin, 2 minutes, 51 seconds. And the evaluation, Barbara's evaluation was 3 minutes, 50 seconds. That ends my report.
Excellent timer report. Well done, Lauren. Thank you for that. Thank you all for your roles today. I think the meeting went very smoothly, particularly when you're a general evaluator and you're an evaluator. We're driving along a road and trying to listen to the maps. But it was a fun meeting. I loved Yasmin's tidbits of customs, traditions for birthdays. I love the sharing of the pictures. I actually had a picture to share, but I'm using my phone as our Zoom thing, so I forgot about that. A special birthday picture I had was my 50th birthday in the United States. There's a group of ladies called the Red Hat Society, Red Hat ladies. When you turn 50, you get to wear a red hat and a purple outfit, and you get together with a bunch of other ladies that are over 50. So I had a special birthday party on my 50th. Everybody wore purple outfits and red hats, and I had a picture of that. So sorry I can't share it. But I thought it was a fun theme meeting, excellent icebreaker speech. I was captivated by Sarah's love of books, and we certainly have that in common. But she gave me a few to add to my book reading list. Table topics, fun to hear all the common themes of how we celebrate birthdays and the unique things that we do for birthdays. I forgot to mention something that was very festive in our birthdays in our area, and I don't know other countries do it. A game called Pin the Tail on the Donkey. I don't know where it came from, but all the birthday parties growing up, we always played Pin the Tail on the Donkey. You cover the person's eyes, you spin them around, and you're given the tail, a little tail, and you go and you blindfolded try to put the tail on the donkey's butt, and the one that comes closest to the butt gets a prize. That was a real common game that we played, and that just has been going through my mind. It's like, oh, I hope I get an opportunity to insert that in the table topics. I didn't, so I shared it now in my overall evaluation. Great meeting. I loved how all the roles were pretty much filled before we even got to the start of the meeting. Those that came early filled the couple spaces that we had to fill, but all those that were assigned roles showed up, and I appreciate that. It was a wonderful meeting. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for your participation. And I can't think of anything we can do better. We just have such high quality meetings, and that's why we attract so many people to our meetings, because they get so much out of it. It's such a fun group of people, very supportive, and always very well run meetings. And I attribute that also to our Toastmaster Day and current club president. She makes it very hard shoes to fill for next year. So with that, I'll close my general evaluation and turn it back to our Toastmaster of the day. Jasmine, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, ma'am, General Evaluator. I have something very interesting to share, and I hope you guys are able to see this. Guess what it would be? Any guesses? No?
Making cake.
Is it your birthday cake?
Okay. Any more guesses? Okay. One more, please.
Well,
Ice cream?
It tastes. Can I be a party pooper? Say what it is. It's the world's
Yes.
longest cake.
Of course, you're reading. It's in front of you. That's right. This is the world's longest cake. They're making the world's longest cake. And this is, I'm sorry for all these advertisements that are popping up. So
My guess is right.
yes, it is right. Imagine this is about 6.5 kilometers. So 4 miles long birthday cake they have made. And it's like around 1,500 bakers and chefs took part in it. And this is in 2020. They made it in the state of Kerala in India. So the Guinness World Record of making the longest birthday cake goes to Indians. With this nasty note, I'm gonna turn the meeting to the president and hope she has good comments for me. President, please take it over. So I'm very excited. I'm very happy. Toastmaster of the Day did a brilliant job, but she could not have had done it without the participation of you all. I love the smiles that you all are carrying in your on your face, and we have 1 minute in case any of you have feedback before we officially close the meeting. Any comment, any feedback, any information to be shared?
I like the scene today. It's a birthday, and also the word of today is totally fit in this scene. I like.
I agree with you, Jerry. I agree with it completely. Thank you, Ravi, for a wonderful word, festive. And with the festive mood, let me officially adjourn the meeting, but please stay around because VPE. Julie, you had to say something?
Yeah, it was a very interesting meeting. And it gave me a lot of ideas of stories to tell.
And we are waiting for those stories, Julie. Please bring this to our club. We are eagerly waiting. Thank you. Do stay around because I'll hand it over to VPE for filling the agenda, but here I officially adjourn our meeting.